What's going on, everybody? This is Adam, aka Watu-K99, recording live from Jets Country here in Newport News, Virginia. Well, as I'm speaking to you, the Jets schedule has just been released. We now know the dates and the times of all the games, so I wanted to give a quick breakdown and just give you some initial thoughts on what I'm seeing from the schedule. So let's roll through this really quick. Week 1. Home against Baltimore. Week 2 at Cleveland. Week 3 home against Cincinnati. Week 4 at Pittsburgh. Week 5 home against Miami. Week 6 at Green Bay. Week 7 at Denver. Week 8 home against New England. Week 9 home against Buffalo. Week 10 is when we have our bye. So then we go into the second half of the season. November 20th at New England. November 27th home against Chicago. December 4th at Minnesota, December 11th at Buffalo, December 18th home against Detroit, December 22nd our one primetime game home against Jacksonville. We were apparently only worthy of one home game in primetime this season, a game. Week 17, New Year's Day at Seattle, and Week 18 at Miami to close the season. So I got a couple of thoughts about this. Number one, isn't it interesting that the Jets have been scheduled to play the entire AFC North in weeks 1 through 4? Now, we've talked a lot about how the Jets need to get off to a quick start, how they have not won a September game since 2018. Well, they've got 3 shots against Baltimore, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. Now, that Cleveland game gives me a little bit of hope. Maybe Deshaun Watson will be suspended for that game. Will Baker Mayfield be still on Cleveland for that game? We don't know yet. So not an easy start like maybe a lot of us were hoping. So during that kind of schedule, you pretty much just got to tread water. And so I'm thinking, looking at this, if they come out of that schedule 2-2 against the AFC North, I would take that, and I would be very happy. Now you have 5 more games. You got Miami, at Green Bay, at Denver, home against New England, home against Buffalo before the bye. So you have 5 games there. To me, I would go for 2 and 3 in that spot. I think it's about time to beat Miami. At Green Bay and at Denver, those are both going to be incredible challenges going on the road against 2 premier quarterbacks. We're hoping that we could beat New England. Well, it's time for us to prove that. We haven't beaten them since 2015, and Buffalo, we all know what a challenge they are. So I think best case scenario, if they could come out 4-5 going into the bye with a decent bill of health, I'd be pretty excited as a Jets fan. And then you have 8 more games. So you have coming out of the bye at New England, which means they've got 3 out of 4 weeks they're playing against the AFC East with a bye in the middle. Then you got home against Chicago, at Minnesota, home against, then at Buffalo. So at Patriots, home against the Bears, at the Vikings, at the Bills. I really think we could split with the Patriots, but I think it's about time to beat the Bears. We haven't beaten the Bears since 2000. And as a guy who lived in Chicago for 20 years, I take that personally. 22 years, as a matter of fact. Last time we played them, Shane Matthews was the Bears quarterback. I'll give you all a second so you can Wikipedia him. At Vikings, it's going to be interesting. It's going to test our run defense. I think that may be the weak spot of our defense. Going against Dalvin Cook does not excite me, especially with those ridiculous horns in the background. At the Bills may be the biggest challenge that we have. Then you have the last 4 games, home against Detroit, home against Jacksonville, at Seattle, at Miami. There's no reason the Jets can't win at least 3 of those games. So they really have a very difficult start to the season. But it starts to lighten up in the second half, and that last quarter of the season, it is pretty winnable. So if the Jets do have something to play for, if they are just in the hunt going into that middle of December stretch, after that Buffalo game on December 11th, they could just be in the mix. They can really do something. So I'm thinking best case scenario, I could see 9-8 if just about everything goes well. If I'm being realistic, I'm going to go about 7 wins on this. So now we know the order. I think that big start is going to be critical, and it's about time we started winning some division games. So let me know your thoughts. I look forward to hearing what you have to say. If you subscribe, I would appreciate it very much, and I'll see you around as Wicker Media slowly gets launched. The chair is coming back. See ya.